When they ask you questions and answer for you and do not consider your ideas and blind themselves with gender or racism or excuses, and when they pour fire upon us with their words of hate, disrespect, it's dehumanizing. They see us as worthless beings, but yet we are a mirror of love. The truth is, we must have love in our souls, pouring out of our pores and rolling off our tongues. For that, we will do anything for love.
My name is Kiona, and who I am, I'm a mother first. And that's pretty much what I want to be, what I'm striving to be. I'm proud of just being an African-American woman.
Well, who is Albert? I am patient, creative, and full of life. Mostly I always try to find a way to help somebody. Whether it's a conversation, whether it's a smile. Good morning. Oh, can I give y'all some flowers? There you go. Yeah.
Describing myself, that's a little bit difficult. I consider myself a very complex enigma, but mostly holistic advocate.
My name is Spencer Kirkpatrick. So playing guitar was a big thing for me when I was a kid. I picked it up when I was probably 11 or 12. I didn't really know my dad growing up, but he played guitar as well, and I think the gene got passed on, the music bug. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. My mom was a single parent. She was a great mother. She made us do our homework, chores, the whole nine. This is me and my brother. This is Mikey. He's my best friend. We talked about everything.
I grew up in Baltimore City. I'm actually proud to be from Baltimore. I'm just proud of everything I've been through. I'm not gonna say I'm proud of it, but I'm definitely I don't hide it because it made me who I am. I always wanted to be a fashion person. I went to school for sewing. Always wanted to work for a magazine or something, like Vogue, always. That was number one, Vogue. My mom was pretty much just a single mom, so she just took care of us the best way she could. She really had a lot of men around when I was a kid, and so I kind of got introduced to sex way earlier than I was supposed to, at 11. I met my son's father. He was somebody who paid for sex. We ended up having a child together. When I had a C-section with him, I was in the worst pain. So that's when they gave me a bunch of narcotics and medicines that I would hear them giving me. And that was my first time being introduced to the feeling of the drugs that I ended up being on. That was the beginning of it. It was really, really hard to live with an addiction that I didn't know nothing about. I was literally coming out of being in a hotel every day, in shelters every day, with just men coming in and out of my door, to being a mother.
You don't know what your experience is, either good or bad, when you're a kid. You don't understand that. So I had a very interesting childhood because my dad worked in entertainment. And so I was on movie sets as a kid and met some really fascinating people. And then the duality of going back home and living in poverty with my mom and not having stability in housing and not knowing if we would have enough food for the rest of the month. After I left an abusive domestic violence relationship, I became unhoused as an adult. I even put in the resignation to my very good job. I had a house, I had a car, I would go on vacation. My safety and mental health was worth more than all of that.
So when I was 16, I quit school and got an apprenticeship fixing guitars, stringed instruments. And I was just happy to be in the craft, in the business, especially at that young of an age. So this is me holding my dad's 1971 black Les Paul Custom. When I went out on the road, I got introduced to like harder drugs than just smoking bud and drinking beer. And I really got stuck on the opiates. That was when it all went to crap. When I was younger, my mother noticed that she actually brought to my attention that I might have mental health problems. I didn't take it seriously until I was at the worst spot in my life, which was being homeless in a foreign city. So I thought about what my mom said. I thought about it, poured over it. I was like, damn, she's right about all of it. So I started thinking, I was like, well, how can I fix this?
Recovery is extremely difficult to get on the other side of, because the treatment for me didn't start clicking until I was like in my 4th program. It tore me apart mentally, physically, and spiritually. And it's like you kind of just have to become a new person, like a rebirth. Not having stability, it really affects my mental health and my recovery.
How you doing, baby? Good. If you want things to change, you have to change yourself. I was born and raised here in Baltimore. I was really a very curious kid. My favorite subject was science. My mom was a great reader. My dad was a worker. He believed in work. She believed in study. And between that two, I had learned a lot, but I really wasn't able to contain my anger. And I was really comfortable being with people in trouble. Almost 50 years I was in and out of prison. It's like you got this little ball, and all of the little ball is the wisdom and knowledge that people are trying to give you, but it bounces off because the anger is like that block. But once you begin to dissolve that anger through doing yoga, through the breathing exercises, and through meditation, then it goes to your nerves, then it goes to your mind. And you feel the immediate effects. Over time, the court seen that I had made tremendous progress inside, and they said, well, you got to do something. So what they did, they suspended my life sentence and put me out on the street. I didn't even know where I was going at first. And I ended up staying with my sister, the one I stay with now. And from that point on, I've just been, trying to get housing, dealing with elderly people, right? Because like I said, I'm 71.
Let's see if the door's open. Because the last couple of times I came down, it wasn't even open.
When you start filling these applications out and it says, have you ever been to prison? You say, yes. Oh, well, we have to do a background check. Well, I already let you know I've been to prison. So why do you need to do a background check? Even though on the other side of that, it's like, I don't want you in my building, but they're not gonna tell you that.
Yeah, it's like the same thing every time I come down. It's like every time I come here, I don't see anybody, and the door's locked. So what I do, I try to get their number, and I call, and they say someone will be there, but I haven't seen anybody yet. So what I do, I check around and around. This is just one of my normal days of what I usually do.
Get tired, lay down, take a break, get back up and try it again. That's what I do. And that's what I'm gonna do again today. And tomorrow. And then when I get tired, I'll take my day off, my week off, and then I'll start on the cycle again.
And then COVID hit, and that was like, I hate to say it, but that was one of the best things that happened. They got all the homeless people and filled up every hotel in Baltimore. You get your own room, you get your own space, which I hadn't had that in 20 years, and it was so good for my mental health. Under me a few floors was a program, and I met my counselor, and then that rolled into this program.
I signed up for housing when I was pregnant with my son, and he's now 10. Baltimore County's housing authority is what I signed up for originally, and that never, came. I was happy. I was really happy when I got the phone call. I never really get good news. When it came through, I was still kind of reluctant to be happy. All right, so this is the living room.
I know I'm gonna have plants just hanging everywhere if I can.
I've never had something where I knew I was gonna be there for a month or a week, so it's just still new to me. It's really big, it's huge.
Oh my gosh, having a roof over your head makes you feel human again. I can't stop cleaning my apartment. It's so nice. Since I've been in Maryland, and I've had this wonderful world open up that I have medical insurance, which I never had in Georgia. I went on MAT, which is medicated assisted treatment, methadone or Suboxone for opiates, for opiate addiction. It keeps you from using a lot. Yeah, I started going to a psychiatrist and a therapist, and then since I've done that, I've progressively gotten better with the drug issue, but that was a big reason for my homelessness.
Housing definitely makes all the difference in me, in my son's relationship, and that's all I've been thinking about is making his room comfortable, that he want to stay there and want to be there with me more. I love so much about my son. He has the biggest heart. He is the one grateful little kid. He also got freckles and dimples. You think I should put it on that side or here, down here?
Down there, no, yeah, down there.
Because I'm gonna start by putting a bunch here, and this should be. I've been doing everything to just be there for him, and just let him know that I'm still here and I'm gonna fight and I'm not gonna go anywhere. I have to invest in my mental health. Thank you. So I was gonna put garlic and onion. It actually smells really good right now. My mother, my sister, my cousins, just my family, they're really supportive in everything that I do. And they don't judge nothing that I do in any way. Like, I like the way that you handle life on life's terms. Seriously.
Well, thank you. And, it's obtainable. You're getting there. Listen, recovery is a lifelong, it's like a lifelong journey, right?
Yeah. Just calling them and talking to them, they're always gonna put me back into reality and just let me know that, that things are gonna be fine.
I'm going. Thanks.
Hi, sister.
I'll call you.
I definitely want to do EMT work one day, or like work at a nursery, but greenhouse, just like anything green, landscaping working. Eventually, my ultimate goal is like a safe haven house for women, young girls.
Right now, we are in South Baltimore. This is Broadway. Right now, we're getting ready to go here because this is a place that takes in homeless people. We get them off the street if it's real cold or it's real hot.
What I'm involved in is I call it constant volunteerism. I volunteer from Health Kids and the Homeless to Shepherd Pratt, from Shepherd Pratt to people out on the street.
Good morning, brother. How you doing? All right. This is a brother that I help out a lot. This is Tony. He's also an artist, so he inspires me and I inspire him. That's what it is.
Get one blessing and pass it on to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
The nicer you are to people, the kinder you are to people, the more you see instant change. And when people change, they have the ability to assist other people in change.
Homelessness, unfortunately, is a systemic issue, and we need to fix it at the root through policy change. And it's not even something that's not simple. It's providing basic needs: housing, food, healthcare. I actually worked in government in Annapolis, right behind the legislatures, and I got sick and I couldn't work in a functional capacity anymore. And I lost my job, and I lost my benefits, and I lost my housing, and then I lost my car, and literally lost everything in the span of 8 hours. So when I started doing advocacy, that was part of my story, was explaining to them, I literally worked in the building behind you. And it kind of put into perspective for them, someone who has affluence and a fantastic job could literally end up where I was.
Certain people believe that people who have participated in crime should never receive anything. If this is what they do, bury them in there. But what about when the person's changed? What about the fact that this person can now benefit you or different parts of society? Those things a lot of people don't look at.
All right, brother. Later. I know. Told you, I had you. I got you, just like you always had me.
Having someone with lived experience for homelessness, doing advocacy in leadership, policy, legislation, you need that component, you need that person, you need those stories so that you're actually making true, honest, and lifelong change.
By me being able to communicate with the people on the board and the people in the street and other organizations.
Stay up, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have more to bring back to them.
People don't really have much faith in people who've been through a lot. The stigma around those things makes it worse.
You see somebody that's homeless, don't judge them, man. Talk to them, ask them what's going on. Anybody could fall off at any time. It's not always something that someone can control.
Ask them what they need and listen. Don't just guess, don't assume, what you think you would do in that person's position is the right thing. Everybody should be taking care of everybody because we are a huge ecosystem. And when one fails, we all fail.
The truth is, we must have love in our souls, pouring out of our pores and rolling off of our tongues. And we will do anything for love.